One of the reasons is that we have to get a working board going again. This is a 5-man board. This isn't a one-person board. Prior to this, grant you, there were arguments among ourselves, but we sat down and discussed it and compromised, and a lot of times what I thought was a great idea, it was not a great idea. All of a sudden I find out that, geez, my lousy idea and somebody else's lousy idea, if we take the better parts of it, comes out to be a great idea. So that's the idea of working together. And right now we don't have that. You can't have somebody come in and say, I am the boss, right off the bat. I mean, right there it shows that, you know, what's going to happen? Well, you've seen what happened. You go to these meetings and it's a fiasco sometimes, and I don't blame the people for getting angry and upset, but they got to look at what is going on. And I want to get back to the old boards. Now, I've served under a lot of boards, and never have, there's been, like I said, disagreement, but never like we are seeing right now. And we have to get back to normalcy and work together and to solve these problems that will be coming up. We are in pretty good shape right now as a town. We do have low taxes, probably the lowest in the county except for Paris, who has that gold mine in their backyard there. And look at what we got for what our, what we pay. Like I said earlier, we have paramedic service. To me, paramedic and fire is the most important. I did talk to one of our paramedics a while ago, and I says, just out of curiosity, how many people do you think you've saved since we formed a paramedic? And he says, just on my shift that I run, I feel that there's been 6 people, maybe even 7, that we've saved since we've went into paramedic. And their rescue squad, I can't say enough about them. They're the ones who initiated it. We had board that went behind it and backed it. It was not a popular decision at that time because it was costing us $2,000 per person to send to med school. And they would pay us back by serving us for 4 years. And every year they served us, we'd knock off $500. Well, you ask that person whose life was saved if that $2,000 was worth, the town spending, and I'm sure the answer would be yes. So we got to get back to that. Okay, like I said, the number 1 priority is get the town board back working together. That's the number 1 priority, because if you're going to have this constant bickering and arguing and one-man rule, it isn't going to work. We got to work together. What I'd like to see happen is look into such things that are coming down the road. Look into solar power. Look into wind power. Things like that that can help us here in the community. We have the Highway 50 corridor, which we could attract businesses and even light industry. We have a rail service in Trevor and there is a possibility of maybe buying some more land for an industrial park there. I mean, that we put into our plan when we started developing the fire and highway building. I would like to see the town of Salem run by its department heads with the town board overseeing everything, not the town board managing it. We got an excellent highway department with an excellent highway supervisor. We have an excellent administrator. We hired him to help us out on these things, and he's got the background to do it. I don't have the background. I might be able to help your kid read a little better, because of the education that I have in reading, but I don't have the education for, industrial courts and how they should be developed and how new subdivisions should go up and what the town needs, things like that. And if you go through all of our department heads, we are lucky that we do have these people from public safety to sewer to highway to our administrator. And I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, but we are a good family here at the town of Salem, and I don't want to see that destroyed. All I ask is, look, people, go back through the years and check your taxes and see what you're getting for it. And, then maybe the complaint about high taxes won't maybe hold as much, resentment in your mind. Another thing too, I'd like to see the stormwater development happen a little better because, the guy who lives on the top of the hill says, why do I have to pay that $5 a month for my stormwater? The water runs downhill. Well, he's correct. His water runs downhill to the guy below him who maybe causes problems. You can't look at it that way. We got to work together. The library, I don't use the library a lot, but I still believe that we have to have a library for our kids and other people and for enjoyment, for research, things like that. I mean, just because it doesn't serve us, singly, it just doesn't help us, that doesn't mean it shouldn't be. So hopefully, I will run again, and I hope I do make it, and we'll let the people decide, I guess.